Hey folks, I want you guys to check out a few clips that I grabbed from some videos, and I want you to listen to this right quick, and then I want you to check out. Of course, I'm gonna add my little commentary, but check out what this guy said.
Our black brothers and sisters out there that are the ones that are posting all this. Oh, we just gonna mind our business. And I saw somebody earlier making T-shirts of like a group of like 6 black people, black men and women, sitting on a bench texting on phones while the country is burning up behind them. Let me explain something to you guys. What? Let me explain something to you. When they get done with the brown people, they'll be coming after you. And if you don't think that's true, you got another thing coming.
First of all, we were first. They never stopped coming for us. They never stop coming for you. When you walk outside, when you go into an establishment, if you get pulled over for a traffic stop, they never stopped.
And that is the point blank and the period. They never stopped. And this is 2025. But I want you guys to check out what was said by the president. And I want to know why I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. I found out about this today. But if he says something like completely like just so anti-black, the whole world will be mentioning it. You'll be seeing articles after articles. But why aren't more people talking about this? Check this out.
Ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore. That was meant for the babies of slaves. It wasn't meant for people trying to scam the system and come into the country on a vacation. This was, in fact, it was the same date, the exact same date, the end of the Civil War. It was meant for the babies of slaves, and it's so clean and so obvious.
The only thing I have to say about that is I don't understand why they even had to add that to the Constitution, because the ones who know for sure, for a fact, who we are, those called Black Americans, where we came from, would be those who kept extensive notes. They know for a fact that we're natives to this land, but they had to come up with that to cover their tracks, because if they know that if we knew for a fact that we were natives to this land, none of them would have a right to be here, and that's a fact. Okay, I'll be back. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Listen, I didn't need Trump or anyone to tell me my standing in this country. Matter of fact, my grandmother revealed to me that she nor her husband, my grandfather, had slavery in their family. See, everybody that was in this country who looked like me were not slaves. That's what we keep telling y'all, but y'all don't want to listen. So a lot of people here who look like me were native to this land. Watch this gonna come out. And like, I bet you that they gonna even hit the libraries, the brick and mortars. They gonna be hitting the libraries trying to do some deep, intensive research so that they could come up with documentations to prove that their great grandmother was a slave. So that's gonna give them a legal foundation here. When they, me no black. Nobody wanted to be associated with black folks, but I bet you want to be associated now, right? And I kept telling them, they always try to include us in what's happening with other groups, like the guy in his little mask wanting to cover up his identity. They're going to come for you. Why y'all always trying to pull us up in it? We are the group y'all need to leave alone, for real. Trump knows what's up. I was on this app called Nextdoor, and somebody put up a post talking about ICE and talking about everybody in the world are immigrants, and it just didn't make sense to me. I was like, how's everybody in the world immigrants when you have people, groups of people who were born in different areas of this world, and wherever they live, that's where they resided from, that's where they came from, and that's where they built, their communities. So I was like, damn, I don't get what you're saying. But anyway, so I was basically just throwing, when they were saying what they were saying, I would come back and say things, and then I was just like, as this woman came in and said, well, for you say all the things that the myriad of things that black people went through in this country, why are you so comfortable being silent when it's happening to other people? Okay, I have one more video I want you guys to check out. And this man is basically going to answer her question. That's what I should have did. I should have posted his video in her comments. But I'm just now thinking about it. Anyway, he's going to answer her question. And two, also, I forgot I had one more clip that I want to show after him. And it's gonna go into, or it's going to piggyback off of him answering the question that she asked, and it's also going to expound on why, or highlight why we're so silent. Check this out.
Man, stop trying to convince these people that we need to stand together and all that. They ain't trying to hear that shit, bro. They've been betrayed so many times, bro. 1877, after federal troops pulled out of the South, bro. Betrayed. 40 acres and a mule, betrayed. You feel me? Jim Crow, betrayed. Redlining, betrayed. Every promise that this country has made to them has been a false promise. And now we need y'all to stand with us while we march. Leave them people alone. They ain't trying to hear that shit. Because they know how prevalent racism is in our community. And they know how y'all talk about them when they ain't in the room. And they know that now y'all got y'all N-word wake up, didn't y'all? Y'all got that Paul Mooney N-word wake up call. And now y'all want to scream unity and solidarity. It don't work that way.
Funny thing is, most not even trying to hear him. It's like they don't care about, our continuous fights and struggle in this country. It's just all about them. Next.
African American community is the only community that has the power in this country to change anything. They are the only one with the experience of civil matter. They are the only one que tenían el esclavo ahí mismitico. They are the only one that are not going to get deported anywhere, and you cannot put them all in jail.
It's facts. And those folks who are Black American who come in, they're gonna come for us next. It's like, you know what? You talking foolish and reckless, and you ain't a part of my group. Anybody else can take you in, but you ain't gonna be a part of my group. Because if you had any ounce of sense and self-respect, you would know doggone well they cannot touch us. Like I've said in multiple videos, they tried to do it during slavery and they couldn't do it. So what you think they gonna do now? Not a one thing. They know we are the true natives.
So African American community, which is the community that is stepped on by Cubans, the most are the only ones that are going to save the Latinos. And I clap for the African American community that has not come out because it is not. I do. We didn't do.
I get it, but I don't.
Me and you support, but in masses, we didn't support anything that was going with them. Latinos look at Cubans specifically. I'm not going to talk about any other community because I'm not part of that community, even though I'm a Latina with them. Cubans talk shit about African Americans. Cubans did not support African Americans. Cubans think that they all victimize themselves, of this, all of that. African Americans are the only ones that are going to save your asses, Latinos. So you better start kissing.
Yeah, I don't save. I'm not in the business of saving anyone. I'm not Jesus. And two, I don't do ass kissing because ass kissing is fake. Person who kiss your ass, they hate you, and they're only kissing your ass because it's something they want or feel like they need. And once they get it or realize they're not going to get it, then they'll turn on you faster than a viper. So it's fake. Anyway, let's go into the content and let's take a closer look as to why now, 2025, over 100 years later, we're silent. Our silence is stronger and it's louder. Anti-lynching in 1916 When Elizabeth Freeman showed her niece Ruthie, my mother, the scrapbook detailing her activism, she instructed her not to look at one section. It was, she said, too terrible for a young girl. My mother ignored her warning, but she was not wrong. There were gruesome images of the torture and lynching of a young man in Waco, Texas in 1916. The recent suspicious deaths of Robert Fuller and Malcolm Harsh, found hung from trees in California, have raised the specter of a modern-day lynching. Originally deemed self-unaliving, the two deaths are now being investigated. So that happened with Mr. Fuller, and I think it's Harsh. That happened, I think, by 2-3 years ago. Remember, every time you looked around, not every time, but it was quite a few black men discovered in trees in public settings. I'm like, okay. The Negro Silent Protest Parade, organized by the NAACP, 5th Ave, New York City, July the 28th, 1917. Again, I want to emphasize, it's amazing that with all the things we've done, all the fighting we've done, all the protests we've done, and all the laws and policies that came about because of our fight, because of us fighting and our resilience, it's amazing to me why people still expect us to stand up. And when black folks say we're tired, and where was all this wanting to unify when we were fighting damn near by ourselves? Is why you don't have any shame when you come to us expecting us to fight for you and help you when we've been fighting for hundreds of years. We've been fighting for, and in this generation, these generations that came after the fight, we've been doing our own kind of fight in a different way than what they did hundreds of years ago and 60 years ago. We've had to fight differently, but it's about the same thing. All right. East St. Louis. Here are some examples as to why they did the silent protest. East St. Louis, Illinois race riot, July the 1st through the 3rd, 1917, after weeks of tension and attacks on blacks, spurred by the use of black workers to replace striking white workers in a plant processing for the war effort. A white mob set fire to the black section of the city and destroyed it. Black residents were brutally attacked and shot as they tried to flee the fires. The National Guard, called in by the mayor, proved ineffective against the mob violence. At least 39 black Americans were unalived. Hundreds more were burned and beaten. Lady Macbeth of East St. Louis. White woman yelled encouragement to the white mobs, and some participated in the beatings of black men and women. The Cleveland Advocate reported that the women and children pursued the black women who were driven out of the burning homes with the idea not of extinguishing their burning clothing, but of inflicted added pain. If possible, they stood around in groups laughing and jeering while they witnessed the final rippings of the terror and pain of the racked wretches who crawled to the streets to die after their flesh had been cooked in their own homes. Memphis and Waco, widely publicized brutal lynchings had occurred in these cities. Memphis, Tennessee, 1917, and in Waco, Texas, in 1916. The sadistic unaliving of 17-year-old Jesse Washington. You still want to know why we silent? Negro Silent Protest. There will be 10,000 Negroes in line at 1 o'clock Saturday, July the 28th on 5th Street and 5th Ave to 23rd Street and Madison Square, where the procession will end. The children of the various Sunday schools, public schools, and families will assemble on 57th Street between 5th and 6th Ave. The women on 56th Street and the men on 55th Street west 55th west of 5th Ave. We must assemble not later than 12 o'clock. The children will lead the parade, followed by the women in white, while the men will bring up the rear. The laborer, the professional man, all classes of the race will march on foot to the beating of muffled drums. The native-born, the foreign-born, united by the ties of blood and color, all owing allegiance to the mother races, will parade silently with flags of America, England, Haiti, and Liberia. Why do we march? We march because of the grace of God and the force of truth. The dangerous hampering walls of prejudice and inhumane injustices must fall. We march because we want to make impossible a repetition of Waco, Memphis, and East St. Louis by rousing the conscience of the country and bring the murderers of our brothers and sisters and innocent children to justice. We march because we deem it a crime to be silent in the face of such barbaric acts. That's what I mean. You know, they had to march because people were silent. I'm saying, where's the solidarity? Why we have to fight this by ourselves? We march because we are thoroughly opposed to Jim Crow laws, etc., segregation, discrimination, disenfranchisement, lynching, and a host of evils that are forced on us. It is time that the Spirit of Christ should be manifested in the making and execution of laws. We march because we want our children to live in a better land and enjoy fairer conditions than have fallen to our lot. We march in memory of our butchered dead, the massacre of the honest toilers who were removing the reproach of laziness and trifleness hurled at the entire race. They died to prove our worthiness to live. We live in spite of death shadowing us and ours. We prosper in the face of the most unwarranted and illegal oppression. We march because the growing consciousness of solidarity of race, coupled with sorrow and discrimination, have made us one of a union that may never be dissolved in spite of shallow-brained agitators, scheming pundits, and political tricksters who secure fleeting popularity and uncertain financial support by promoting the disunion of a people who ought to consider themselves as one. Be in line on Saturday and show that you have not become callous to the sorrows of your race. May God bless you and every parter. Yours in righteous indignation, Reverend Chaz Martin. Models used in the Negro Silent Protest Parade, New York. Memphis and Waco centers of American culture. Make America safe for democracy. Taxation without representation is tyranny. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. And these were committed against us. You know how many groups lied on us that caused people to go into our communities and destroy our communities? We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. America has lynched without trial 2,867 Negroes in 31 years, and not a single murderer has suffered. Like I said, where was the solidarity when all these lynches were going around? And it's still happening. They just found other means of doing it. Other ways of doing it. 200,000 black men fought for the liberty of the Civil War. The first blood of American independence was shed by a Negro, Crispus Attucks. We have fought for the liberty of white Americans in 6 wars. Our reward is East St. Louis. 12,000 of us fought with Jackson at New Orleans. We fought with Perry at Lake Erie. 10,000 of us fought in the Spanish-American War. From Bunker Hill to Cruzal, we have done our bit. The world owes no man a living, but every man an opportunity to earn a living. We are maligned as lazy and murdered when we work. We are excluded from the unions and condemned for not joining them. Repelled by the unions, we are condemned as scabs. Suffer little children and forbid them not. Unto the least of these, my brethren. 3,000 Negroes fought for American independence under George Washington. We helped to plant the flag in every American dominion. 34 Negroes have received Carnegie Hero medals. Our music is the only American music, so treat us that we may love our country. India is abolishing caste. America is adopting it. Race prejudice is the offspring of ignorance and the mother of lynching. If fault is to be found with color, blame God and yourselves. Patriotism and loyalty presuppose protection and liberty. We have 1 million farmers, and not talk about, let's not even talk about the acreage that was stolen from us, the acreages that were stolen from us. We have 30,000 carpenters. We have 30,000 clergymen. We have 12,000 brick and stone masons. We have 30,000 teachers. We have 3,000 physicians. We own 250,000 farms with 20 million acres of land worth 500 million. Where's it at today? We have church property worth 76 million. A square deal for every man. TR. The Negro has never betrayed the flag, attempted to assassinate the president or any official of this government. What just happened in the news? We have 60,000 iron and steel workers. We have 20,000 slaughter and packing house operations. Your hands are full of blood. Mothers do, lynchers go to heaven. The great contradiction, love of God and hatred of man. Color, blood, and suffering have made us one. Pray for the Lady Macbeth of East St. Louis. And that's about all. I was going to read more. That was it. That was all I had to say. All the contributions, all the things we've done, all the things we've done, all the things we've done, the things that we have done in this country. And she said we've never burned the flag and we never attempted to assassinate a politician. What just happened in the news? The event was widely publicized and drew attention to violence against Black Americans. Organizers hope the parade will prompt the federal government to enact anti-lynching legislation, but President Woodrow Wilson did not act on their demand. Federal legislation was required because southern states often refused to prosecute lynchings under existing state statutes that outlaw murder, kidnapping, and assault. The federal government would not pass an anti-lynching law until 2022 when the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act was passed. That's all I gotta say. I'm done, folks. I hope this video has educated those who, say they want to know the truth. Educated those who weren't even looking for the truth, and just help those who already know the truth and just want more resources to, add to their research, folks. I'm about to end this. Thank you, those who have checked out this video in its entirety. Thank you for your support to this channel. Thank you for commenting, subscribing, and sharing these videos. It helps out a lot. But thank you for your support, and I appreciate you guys. Stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.